Naughty. Why is it naughty? Nice. And whose benefit is that for?
Yours. That one's yours. That one's Doug's. And Big Paul's. I think that one's Lowell's.
Vacant.
No, undecided. And this one's definitely John's. And
that a biscuit you got there, John?
this one's definitely Keith's.
Snap, snap, snap and eat. Blue ribbon, the family treat.
Any excuse.
Keith. Oh.
Yes.
Where did this come from, Keith?
And that one's definitely Collins as well.
Paul's got the best toys. Yours at best, Paul.
It's worth a fortune, this.
Big Paul.
Pardon?
Sorry, no, not Big Paul. Paul the Biscuit, that's yours.
What is it? I can't see it.
No.
Naughty.
Naughty.
What you got for your best mate, John, then? Keith.
Oh, definitely.
I thought you'd have one with Wazzock on.
Twonk.
He's got an elf with twonk, on.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to get one with Twonk on for next week. So I think we just about all back, aren't we?
Yeah.
So, right, Lol, would you like to just finish off your tribute?
Sabella, then was it Ron who's got a story about him?
It's nothing important, but
No,
somebody questioned Waterthorpe.
Yeah, I thought it was in Drumfield.
I put a bid in a house on Waterthorpe and I lost out. And when I spoke to the estate agent, he said, oh, it's a United footballer who's bought it.
Was it Thorpe Drive?
Discovered
Ron?
later it was Alex Sabella.
Ron, was it Thorpe Drive or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
They bought him
it
a
was.
car, they bought him all sorts in the deal. Furnished his home. Anyway, he was admitted to hospital in Buenos Aires 3 weeks ago after suffering fluid retention in his legs. Then he was later moved into intensive care a week before he died, and he passed away last Tuesday with acute heart disease at the age of 66. So,
Not very old.
Very sad.
Yeah.
back to all my news from now on, sad.
Yeah. What about Gerard Houllier? Yeah.
Gerard Houllier.
Just I'm going to say,
Yeah.
Now, less than 24 hours after leaving...
Hang on, Dave the Fish has got...
yeah, we also lost Roy Ridge.
Yep, that's my next item.
Oh,
Dave.
sorry.
It's all right. All right.
John McSeveny.
I haven't got that one down.
All right.
Well, less than 24 hours after learning of the death of Alex Sabella, the Blades confirmed that former player Roy Ridge had passed away, aged 86. Now, he joined the Blades in 1951 and went on to spend 13 years at Bramall Lane as a player. He was a stalwart for the reserve side and only made 15 first-team appearances, but he never let the team down when called upon. Then he left for Rochdale in 1964, where he made 85 appearances before joining Worksop Town, after which he retired. He was kept out of the first team by Seth Colwell and Graham Shaw.
Mm.
Remember Roy Ridge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Passed over a few times.
Used to go to the reserves matches regular.
Yeah, I
There was
did, yeah.
Yeah, well, we used to go if we weren't going to an away game because you got the scores. You get the man coming up, didn't you, on the cricket?
That's right.
You were right to the Wednesday scores up. So, yeah. Oh, just a quick aside, talking about reserve games, I don't know if Keith might remember this or anybody else, playing Manchester United reserves. David Gaskell. No?
Goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dropped his shorts in front of the fans at the Bramall Lane end because I think he'd been getting a bit stick.
I thought he did that in a first team game once as well.
No, he did it that day at Bramall Lane because I was at the Bramall Lane end. Because, as you know, we used to, well, us Blaze, we used to stand at the halfway line and go behind whichever goal they were kicking towards. And David Gaskell's been getting a bit of stick from people, and he just dropped his shorts.
Yeah, class is permanent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Was it on a full moon? Was it a full moon, that match?
It was the butt of a lot of jokes, wasn't he?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Quick as a flash, though, didn't it?
That was in the days when we scored goals, weren't it?
Right.
We didn't score many away, though, in those days, really.
No, we didn't.
The highlight was when Wednesday's score came on, if they were losing, wasn't it? Yeah.
I came to at Middlesbrough and ate something else at QPR.
I bet you
Sorry,
thought.
John.
I bet you
Yeah.
thought.
It's all right. It's all right. You're as crap as we are now, so you can have a laugh at as much as you like about us conceding 8. You know,
We know how you
meaningless.
feel now, John.
Don't
No,
exaggerate.
you'll never know how I feel, mate.
Some of us outside Sheffield think you have two teams: Sheffield United 0 and Sheffield Wednesday 0.
The league tables are disgraceful. Shut up, you scouse git.
Calm down. I'm gonna wear my shell suit next week. Forget your stuff. I'm gonna wear a shell suit.
Anyway,
haircut.
Can you mute him?
despite VAR, I thought it was a penalty on Saturday
Yes.
that you should have conceded, Ian.
Yes.
The slid in, he got his foot, not the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, he definitely
it
got
was
the
50-50.
I cannot understand how it goes to VAR and they see it in slow motion from 27 angles and still get it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it had been United, it'd have been a penalty.
I would rather going back to the old days, I'd rather the referee make the decision. And if he gets it wrong, I think you can look at it from a human point of view.
Yeah.
Think, well, it happened quickly. Bad luck, but now it's just a joke.
But that's what people wanted, though, weren't it? People wanted to eliminate the bad decision by the referees. There was a failure to accept that sooner or later the referee, like any player, like anybody involved in the game, is going to make a mistake. But they didn't want that. They wanted every decision, and certainly every major decision, to be correct.
Brian,
that's why they brought it in.
Brian,
I wanted clear and obvious to be put right.
Brian,
when somebody's a yard offside or something like that, I wanted things like that to be put right.
Excuse me, Brian, you've just put your finger on it. They expected technology to overcome bad decisions. I'm sorry, but people use the technology. They're still making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Not down to technology, it's down to people. Now they've got people in Stockley Park and people on the pitch making bad decisions. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Salah was pushed, Ian. I think Salah was pushed, but because he's dramatic, he threw himself when he needed to done, and he didn't get the free kick.
And in the old days, John, that would be the decision the referee would have made. He said, I know you. You've got a reputation for doing that, like Grealish and the rest of it. Or somebody else, and I can't think of one. Oh, that's unusual. It must have been a foul. That's yes. That's down to a professional referee understanding the game. A professional rugby union referees understanding the front row game within the game, knowing who's doing what and what have you. There's just too much reliance on technology and letting media and press drive the scenario around VAR and what have you, when in fact the authority should say, we're leaving it to the referee on the field. He can use the VAR if he needs it. That's the way it should.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because if you think back a few years, all these so-called pundits who really annoy me, if you haven't already guessed that, their catchphrase was, it's a game of physical contact. You know, let the game flow. It's a game of physical contact. Now the catchphrase is, well, he touched him, so he had every right to fall over and get a penalty.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and it's the game's worse for it.
Absolutely.
It might be a game of physical contact, but I never thought that physical contact involved pushing somebody or getting hold of somebody or something like that. Yeah, you see, the number of times people are pulled and pushed in the area and there's no free kick because it's a game of physical contact. It's not meant to be played with hands. If you want to play with your hands, play rugby.
Yeah, but the opposite is the slightest little touch inside the penalty area, they go down, and because there has been a smidgen of contact, it's deemed to be a foul, and it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
it's again, Brian, you put your finger on it. It's taken the authority, I won't say the power, the authority out of the referee's hands and placed it with another agency that's using technology or abusing technology. They want to get the emphasis back to the man on the field is there. He's using his judgment to get fair play. Now, he may get it wrong, but it's down to him to use what tools are available and to make the judgment. Yeah. If he's no good, get rid of him. But if he's good, and most of them are, let them get on with it. You know, that's what it should be. You've got to have respect for authority. And that's what the other games show football up as not doing. No respect for authority.
I think
turn the hose on. Turn the hose on.
Yeah. Personally, I think that they've got to keep the technology for the goal line. And,
I'm all for that.
And that potentially for offside, where there's a definite, you know, he's either offside or he in.
But Keith, in rugby union, Nigel Owens says, I think that's a try. Will you just check it for me? There was a forward pass or whatever. That's what the referee should do in football. I think that was a goal, but could you just check the offside? Could you check it was over the line? Could you da-da-da-da-da? And, as they do in rugby union, I've seen the replay. Yeah, in my view, it's still over the line. Goal given.
Yeah.
It stays, the whole process stays within the hands of the authority for the day, who is the referee. Just as he uses his linesmen or assistant referees, he uses the technology, but he's the man.
This is music to Brian's ears.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Well, this is music.
Brian might be able to answer this. Brian, the rules used to say, if I remember rightly, that the referee was the sole arbiter of fact. Is that still the case in the rules?
Well, it's not.
I might be wrong, but that's
is the sole arbiter. The rules you say was the sole arbiter of fact in terms of the result of the game, right? But even that has now been overturned because of decisions over the last few years where games have been replayed and what have you. So that's now disappeared, and the word deliberately has also left the rules as well, like handball, for instance. See when I was on the Football League, the guidance was to us in respect of handball which I thought was fantastic, but obviously not for today's generation. The guidance to us was, as a referee, do you think it was in that player's mind to handle the ball, right? And there are so many instances that are happening today where, to me, there's not the slightest thought, consciously or subconsciously, by some players to handle a ball, but it hits them on the hand and it's a penalty out of nothing. And that's where we measured the intent. Now, some people say, well, you're not a mind reader, and of course you're not mind readers, but you can have a really good educated guess, if you like, or educated view. Was that player deliberately trying to handle that ball? And most of the cases I see now, I just think, well, no, I don't think he was, to be quite honest. But the way things have been twisted to satisfy essentially the clubs is just not for the benefit of the game, in my view. But you know, different generations. So I try not to compare mine with today's, because it never wins. But that's how we were guided at that time. Do you think it was in that player's mind to handle the ball? Yes or no? Yeah.
All right, let's cut that. Lol, you still had 5 seconds of Alex Sabella to go.
Done
it.
Where have you been, Keith?
Have you? Right, okay. I must have fallen asleep during that part. So, right, we'll move on. Has anyone got a
Yeah, I'm
quiz?
finished yet.
And have you finished yet?
Yeah, there are 1 or 2 more things to wrap up. But
Go on then. Sorry.
I can see you getting fed up, Keith. I can call it a day if you like.
Seriously, no, I'm not. I thought you'd finished. I'm sorry.
There's only 2 or 3 minutes left anyway, Keith.
Oh,
On me bit.
Fergie time.
Now, the death was announced last Thursday of Italy's 1982 World Cup hero Paolo Rossi, at the age of 64. Rossi became a household name after leading his country to victory at the tournament in Spain, where he finished as top scorer, and he was named as the best player. At club level, he first came to prominence as a prolific scorer for Piacenza, earning a move to Juventus, and later he played for AC Milan. Now, sadly, last Saturday, his home was burgled while his wife was at his funeral. Bradford City, they've sacked manager Stuart McCall.
Paul,
yep.
It was also a cheat.
Every football.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been allowed back into World Cup to win
He
it.
shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Let me check him.
You know why? You know why it was a cheat?
Match fixing.
Match fixing.
He wouldn't have got away with it these days.
He was never found guilty in court of law.
Italian courts, though.
Didn't he have a 4-year ban or something like that?
It was 3 reduced to 2.
Right.
Getting back just in time for World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't have VAR then, did they?
No. Right, go on, Lol.
Bradford City, they've sacked manager Stuart McCall and assistant Kenny Black after 6 defeats in a row have left them 22nd in League Two. The 56-year-old McCall was in his 3rd spell as boss after taking over last February. Now we come over to what Dave mentioned earlier. Former Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier has died at the age of 73. The Frenchman managed the Reds from 1998 to 2004, and he led them to 5 major trophies, including the FA Cup, League Cup and UEFA Cup treble in 2000-2001. After leaving the Reds, he won 2 Liga 1 titles at Lyon, and he managed French national team as well. His last managerial job was at Aston Villa, but suffering from heart problems, He left them in 2011 after 9 months discharge. Does anybody know what other clubs he managed besides those that I've mentioned?
No, but I know he had, whilst at Liverpool, he had open heart surgery because he had pains in his chest during a match against Dirty Leeds.
Remember that?
And Pinocchio took over, his assistant at the time, took over for quite some time before he returned. And we thought he'd recovered, but then he went to Aston Villa. So those heart problems still
never went away.
Prevalent. Sorry?
They never went away, did they?
Never went away, despite the surgery he had. I think he had bypass surgery. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Who's Pinocchio?
Phil Thompson.
Played at Bramall Lane for a bit.
Every time he stood up, because he's got this big conch, which I sit down, Pinocchio. Sit down, Pinocchio.
Warnock used to call him that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Gerard Houllier went to work for FIFA as a sort of technical director of football. And if you listen to Howard Webb when he talks about the final, the World Cup final that he refereed, he got a briefing from Houllier before the match, and it was Houllier who said this is going to be a classic World Cup final. The teams are going to play football. You're going to be able to allow the game to flow, etc., etc. And the game turned out to be exactly the opposite. And I think even Howard himself said he wonders if that put the seed into his mind that meant he wasn't quite prepared for what was to come. But of course we'll never know. But interesting little snippet.
It was
it should have been a classic game, except that Holland forgot that they were Holland. The Netherlands forgot they were Netherlands.
Yeah. Exactly.
They thought they were Leeds.
What comes across is that he was a very genuine man. He was a teacher.
Dirty
Leeds.
Yeah.
Dirty Leeds.
And but everybody, people you'd not expect, like, with all due respect, Ferguson spoke extremely highly of him as a friend, you know. And yeah, I think that's great. I think you've achieved something in life. If you succeed at your profession, great, but you've taken people along with you, even your adversaries, you know.
Yes.
That's testament to the right character, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, Ron.
I've just checked up. He also managed Lens and Paris Saint-Germain.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah. Go on, Lowell.
Right. Well, some local news now. Well, Baldock for United has signed a contract extension to 2024, which I think that's good. He's one of our better players. And some stats now. It's the first time in 60 years that Arsenal have lost 4 at home on the trot. Right. And the Blades have now made the worst start in top division for 90 years. When after 12 games, we've got 1 point. Does anybody know who made the worst start than that?
Man United.
That's correct. They got no points after 12 games. And ironically, we play them on Thursday.
Oh dear.
Well,
we're turning up. By the way, can I just mention on Match of the Day at night on Saturday, on 3 separate occasions, we're playing at Old Trafford against Manchester United. Yeah. Now, I know we're pretty poor at the moment, but factual mistakes like where you're playing is symptomatic of that very poor programme. Yeah. And the script is diabolical. So we're playing at Old Trafford. I think we'll get the same result as if we turn up there as if we turn up at Bramall Lane.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nil point.
Match of the day.
How long do you think Wilder's got?
Well,
forever.
Forever.
Till he resigns.
Yeah.
Never get rid of him.
His team selection. The team selection on Sunday was a bit odd.
Strange.
Very strange.
Jagielka's He should never have been in the team.
He should be in every match.
I think there's some personality issues going on.
Jackie Elka should play in every game. He should have played against Leeds. We were terrible in the air with that hopeless Chelsea player. Play your best player at centre half. You've no O'Connell. You must play your former England player. He was probably our best player in that dreadful incident that happened last Sunday. You must play Jackie Elka. There's no point in having him.
You've got to sort your defence out.
Yes.
Stability.
Yes.
Get a couple of wins, a draw or whatever, and then build on it. So you need your back five, solid performers to instill some confidence.
That was the difference last season, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. But we almost got a point against Leicester, and then he made 4 changes. I don't get it. But Chris should know what he's doing.
Well, perhaps it's some self-doubt. I mean, it's not easy when you're under pressure to change the tide, you know, and you're in a downward spiral, and it's very difficult to turn that. And I see Jurgen Klopp wilting a bit, you know, the worst performance we've had for Yonks. Half an hour, didn't turn up. And when he was interviewed, he couldn't explain it. And there's an affable guy whose leadership inspires people. Well, I can imagine Chris Wilder, seems to me a very strong character. He's beginning to wilt a bit. You know, the players will wilt with him. So he's got to, you know, stop making.
He doesn't become an idiot overnight.
Odd decisions. Sorry?
He doesn't become an idiot overnight.
Correct.
No. Last season, a lot of people were saying he is a potential England manager.
Yeah.
He's not lost any of those qualities.
He's a solid man. He just needs to, who can I trust? We play them, and we play them until some consistency, other than losing all the time. We'll get some consistency and some confidence and build on it. You're still half a season left yet.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Ian, he hasn't got the players to do it. Ian, he can be the best manager. Yeah. He's a wonderful manager, but he hasn't got the players. The recruitment was a disaster. The recruitment department, they're the people that need to go. Yeah. Because they've recruited against his specification. They've got it completely wrong.
We found that.
The difference between this team and Bassett's team that did turn it around is we haven't got Vinnie Jones.
Indeed.
And Vinnie Jones, not a great footballer, but what a motivator he was.
Yeah.
You've got to deal with the cards that are dealt you. So I hear what you say, Chris, but he's got to say, I've got to sort my defence out. That's his priority one. I've got to stop leaking goals, right? And silly goals.
Stupid goals.
Yeah, but he hasn't got the players here.
So even if it even means taking some of his more inspired attackers, you've got to learn to help out at the back, because we are in survival mode. So you've got to park the bus game after game till you start getting results.
Sorry, Ian, I disagree. That's what happened on Sunday. We thought, right, we'll defend and defend and defend, and we never got going at all.
But you nearly got a point.
No, we've got to get back to giving teams the full Monty.
Yeah.
The first 5 minutes of the second half, United did perform to a certain level and just fell away again.
Anyway. Can I mention the comeback run of the 90s or not? Is that the wrong thing to do?
Well, wait while Lol's finished.
Okay. All right, mate.
He's got next week.
I was just trying to make us feel a bit happier, you know.
I think as a Wednesdayite, and I keep saying it, you will come back. There are 3 or 4 crap teams at the bottom of that division that you are better than. You will come back.
Burnley go and win at Arsenal, big shock.
Yeah, but they're not a crap team. They're experienced, an experienced manager.
They've got a goalkeeper. They've got a goalkeeper.
West Brom, and they're at the bottom.
Lol, go on, finish it off.
Just another couple of items. Talking about stats, And I was surprised at this about Wednesday, that on their previous 8 visits to Huddersfield, they'd not conceded 1 goal. That's a fantastic achievement, that.
It was, but it just didn't turn up this time.
And
They had
finally,
a brilliant performance against Norwich away, unlucky not to win, and they just didn't turn up at Huddersfield. They were terrible.
Do you think some teams are just getting tired with this sterile, as you call it, John, sterile football?
Yeah.
Mentally, they're tired.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think we as fans are, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It's not the same, is it? You know,
No.
the fact that some clubs have been having fans in and others aren't. Although London have gone into the tier now, haven't they? But it's not a level playing field. That is
Totally wrong, Dave. Totally wrong. It isn't a level playing field.
Yeah.
No.
In society, it might be nice that some people can go out and enjoy their favourite activity, but in a sport, it isn't a level playing field.
Yeovil was never a level playing field.
We had that last week.
What wasn't?
Yeovil.
Yeovil.
Well, neither was Hillsborough. Come to that.
You can always get a bloody digging, don't you? Always, never fails.
Stop digging, level it up.
Wind him up and watch him go.
Derby County.
He's on his
Derby County.
The baseball ground.
They exported mud, didn't they? And still got plenty to spare.
I know what's happened to Keith. He's had his COVID injection. That's why he's on.
Come on, lol. Any more?
Well, finally, some breaking news.
Oh.
Both United and Wednesday had to sign a Chinese player in the transfer window next January.
Oh,
The Blades had to sign We Won Once, with the L Sam's teammate, don't know when.
Right, thank you, lol.
You plonker.
The
best still last. Well done. Well done.
Right,
Nice.
Chris.
Don't have a lie down.
Has anybody got anything that they want to get off the chest?
I don't know.
Your jumper.
No.
I've got a few one-liner sporting jokes.
Oh, yes, please.
Go on, we need a laugh. We need
Cheers
a laugh. Yeah.
When is a baby good at basketball?
When it's in the net.
When it's in the basket.
When it's dribbling.
When it's dribbling, yeah. Why does someone who runs marathons make a good student?
Come on, Paul.
Never worked for
Because
me.
education pays off in the long run. You want some more or not?
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, yeah. We've got masochistic tendencies. Go on.
How do baseball players stay cool? They sit next to their fans. Where do directors go when they are fed up? The boardroom.
Oh.
Why do managers bring suitcases along to away games? So that they can pack the defence.
Oh.
What year's Beano Annual were this from?
Can't you see all round his feet are empty crackers?
What football pitch smells nicest? The centre spot.
Oh, my God.
We haven't
What's
gone
the
to the 4
chilliest-
minutes of this, have we?
What's the chilliest ground in the Premiership?
What's the what?
Which is a what?
What's the chilliest ground in the Premiership?
It's not Coldblow Lane then.
Old
No.
Trafford. How did the
Old
football
Trafford.
pitch?
Old Trafford.
How did the football pitch end up as a triangle? Somebody took.
VAR.
We took the corners.
Yeah. Why do grasshoppers not go to many football matches?
They watch cricket.
They prefer cricket matches, yeah. I'm backing in. I'm not saying anymore.
Good attempt.
Good attempt. Good attempt. Yeah. Yeah.
Made us
You
smile.
can't raise the dead.
Right, Chris, have you got a couple of questions?
Yeah, just a quick update, if I may, of a person that we've had on the Zoom calls, Will Evans at Chesterfield.
Yeah. Yeah.
We said last week that James Rowe's taken over at Chesterfield.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And had an amazing 6-0 victory.
Yep.
I text Will to congratulate him, and he texted me back to say I wasn't playing. He was suspended for one match. So he watched the game. He watched the game, and they had the biggest winning, you know. But joking apart, the good news from Will's point of view is that he knows that manager very, very well, because when he left Aldershot to go to Chesterfield, it was James Rose, the assistant manager at Aldershot. So it's a small world in that, you know, in all football, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're very good professional friends, and they get on really well. So, but I had to apologise next time I bumped into him in the street. So I wasn't trying to be funny. I just didn't know. He didn't play anyway. Do you want me to continue, Keith, or not?
Yeah, with 1 minute 50 seconds.
Okay. How many points had United got in December 1990 before they played Nottingham Forest at Bramall Lane? They were bottom.
3.
No. It was 4.
Oh.
And they had no wins in how many games?
17.
Correct. That's the programme for the Nottingham Forest game, which we did manage to win 3-2. The first win of the season.
Yeah. Didn't Jagielka score?
No. This is 1990.
Oh, yeah. I remember thinking who scored the goal.
The winning goal was scored by Brian Dean, and the other 2 were by Bryson.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking
I cried with joy. Do we know the record?
I was going to say I cried because I was in Berlin at the time.
You missed it. What is the record number of consecutive Sheffield United league victories?
7.
No.
9.
It's 8.
9.
They've done 8. They've done it 7 times. The last time was done, according to Wikipedia, by Wilder's team, but I can't see that at all.
Okay. Right.
And what we achieved in 1990 was 7 consecutive victories and stayed up. So there is hope.
Chris, we need to stop there. We're less than a minute. I'm sorry. So don't forget, chaps, Christmas hats, jumpers, decorations, the lot next week. Special guest. And let's have a good time.